regard of what this truly means. But I'm going to walk you through this, and Sanjay, if I screw anything up, don't hesitate to. So Serona TV, we call it Transitions TV eventually. This is Serona TV, and that's why this process is here. And what it does is we want to make hospital-like care for expensive patients in the home. So what we want to do is provide real-life care in a patient's home and being able to monitor the patient remotely through a system. And when I go through the system and you see what we've done and how we put this together, it is literally state-of-the-art. So what is Serona TV? So it's a camera, it's a mic, it's speakers, it's a stand. It's this box right here. You have a TV, you have a remote that links into the television. And it gives the patient the ability to access, to change, to toggle through various applications on their TV screen.
Get to all the nerds, get to the cool stuff.
Well, I want to get, okay, I will. So why Serona TV? It's comprehensive care to older adults in their home through a television process. Because they are very familiar with their television. Jim's mom watches television 23 hours a day, and this is where we're leading to. Actually, I can't give Jim any of the credit on this. I have to give it to his mother, because I think she's the one that made him push the issue.
I'll tell you, like, for 32 years, I've been asking my mother, like, would you do this? And for 32 years, the answer has been no. Would you come to this new facility that I built? No. Would you do this? No. Do you have these people over here? No. I talked to her about this today. I said, I have this idea. Going this, she goes, I would love it. Okay. Well, I mean, it was shortly after she had a seizure, but I still think it was pretty good advice.
So this is the telehealth productions products. There is the TV in the room. This is the hardware that is being used. Sanjay can go over that. I told him let's not get in the weeds on the technology and the process of it. It's Bluetooth capability, 4 to 5G wireless, 6 microphones, 3M camera, USB, Wi-Fi is what we're using to connect. More depth, dual core, 8 gig of memory. Yep. Then here's the advanced software. This is the mapping on how the software comes together in the architecture. And this architecture is really pulling it in. Right now, we have 2 versions that we're sort of working on. This version, and then there's a Salesforce version that ties into Salesforce, which gives us a little bit more flexibility than what we currently have. So it's sort of weird that the Salesforce project was in the works as Sanjay and I were talking, because as he got more ingrained in the Salesforce project, he realized, holy cow, this actually makes things easier for us. So it's almost like the speaker this morning was really by coincidence, and I feel like it was something that happened. This process was the same way, where it was coincidental, and it was just married the 2 together, which sort of brought the team together, which is too many coincidental things happening, so I don't know, maybe we should play the lottery tonight or something. Telehealth features, virtual video, remote vital, remote physician exam, medication management, works with firmware, a next gen, and point click. I see Sanjay's getting nervous already, I can feel it. Virtual video visits, hands-free, includes PCP and family, provider calls from their desktop, vital collections, 2 modes, ad hoc, scheduled, alerts when thresholds are crossed, sensors, these are the sensors, modalities, upcoming remote examination devices, medication reminders, prescription practitioners, tracks and adherence, Serona bedside assistant, need to go to the bathroom, I need my medication, voice alerts, based on the alerts, I need help, I'm in pain, dizzy. 2-second press to alert works with TV off, everybody said, how does it work with the TV off? It will prompt to turn the TV on, and we can remotely turn your TV on too. So if there was something that we put a monitor on you, a heart monitor or something, and it was remotely off, we could monitor it. Our support center can track it. It comes into our EMR. When it comes into our EMR, people are visibly watching it. And here's the really other cool thing. In the Salesforce, all 3 MRs are built into one platform, so we don't have to go into multiple systems. We only have to go into one. And that's the exciting part, that streamlines. Mobile app, see that on the phone. I'm just sort of clicking through these, and Jim's chomping at the bit and like, let's go.
Hey, where's my variety show?
Your variety show?
I told you I was going to start a variety show.
That one's going to have to wait for a minute. Care delivery KPIs, we can track KPIs on this.
Just put a camera in the Naperville office, you have a reality TV show.
That's right. Real-time alerts, alerts, longest means, connectivity, video, visit by video, family albums, digital directories, Serona family apps, same thing that you connect with your family. Over 300,000 videos, engagement content. What's really cool is if we saw something that was out of whack and you wanted to do an education on diets or different education programs, you can push this to the television and you can actually, the patient can watch it on their TV. You can interrupt, like if we saw something was out of whack, you can interrupt the program that they're watching and say what's going on. We've sensed something was wrong, something's happening, and we have a call center that is monitoring that as well. TV education. This is the demo set up for today, and Sanjay, do you want to take it from there?
Yep. That's what I don't know where to start. Okay, so I'm going to go back a few slides, set up the stage. So we're going to go back a few slides, is that alright? So just talk a little bit about the hardware. So this is actually a progressive hardware. Not going to go into the details, but the idea is that new features can be built into the product. Some of the features which we talked about is like we can collect vitals because it has a Bluetooth interface, and it also has microphones, so you can talk and listen to patients and actually take voice commands. So the idea, and it's 4G LTE. What that means is that if patients don't have Wi-Fi at their home, they can actually use a SIM card and still be connected. So it's the most progressive home environment device or hardware which actually can have more and more features as time goes by. This is what I want to talk about. Is when we built this software, this solution, we wanted to design a solution which is flexible, so it can integrate with other solutions. What that means is that when we started, we didn't know about next gen, and when we met transitions, there's a need because they work with next gen. So we were pretty quickly, like in about 3 months, we were able to send data back and forth to the next gen. So that's the flexibility. Then comes Salesforce. Salesforce is a big platform which it's advanced platform which helps from lead generation to conversion into patients and all that kind of stuff. So we are able to actually integrate and demonstrate ability. So that's another strong feature of our product is ability to connect to other solutions. So let me jump into other slides. All right. So let me talk about the SB app. So when a patient is at home, it's not just collecting vitals. Like a lot of times, especially to reduce hospitalization, if they call 911, that can lead to hospitalization, right? But if they have ability to contact you easily, then it can, and if you can come and jump in and talk to them, that can actually reduce the trip to the hospital. So we have a simple Alexa-like voice system which people can talk to, and they say, I want to talk to my care provider, and that command will generate an alert. So there are 3 screens. My screen is not showing up there. Oh, that's not a good one. Can I take that? So you wonder what I'm
Rocket is not on the sales team.
sold to transitions. Sorry about that. Alright, sorry. I was going through my slides and I thought you were able to see it. So let's continue here. So this is an app which enables nurse providers, like if they're on the road, to be able to connect with their patients when they're at home. So what happens if somebody says, I need my medication to run out, and you can add any number of commands, or any number of voice commands, just like Alexa, like how's the weather. So you can add any commands. That's not programming. So let's say, hey, I need to see my care provider. That could be a command, and that will generate an alert, which will show up on the left hand side, and then you click on the button, you see the right hand side. The second screen will show up, and you accept that alert, and then you can do a voice call. I'll show you that in a demo. So you can do a simple voice call. The receiving party doesn't have to pick up the voice call. The idea I'm showing here is easy ability for your patient to connect with you while you're on the road. So that's and you can do a voice call, and you can actually do a video call as well. I'm going to jump through that. And if this is important, a lot of times we saw in my experience is that if people can use their TV is very important to them, and if they can use it for more interesting things, they're more likely to use it. That's why we added things like infotainment, so that they can actually watch videos or exercise along. And important thing is be able to talk to the family members. So their grandkids could be on the call on the TV. So that allows. So the idea is make it more interesting, not just collect budgets. So I'm going to show you a little bit of the family app as well. Okay, so for the demo today, on the left hand side is this device. We call this Transitions TV. It actually connects to a TV. The whole idea behind this TV thing is that ease of use. Because tablets and cell phones are difficult to use, especially when you're collecting vitals and you do telehealth calls. It's okay to talk to, do a video call, but it's not okay to collect vitals and do video call and do telehealth on a regular basis. So that's why we chose TV as a platform. The center part is our brain, which is what we call a global server, which collects all the data from all the devices. Let's suppose we have 3,000, 4,000 devices out there. They'll collect all the data, vitals from all those devices, and then put it into an EMR. So what we did in the last 3-4 months, we engaged with transitions, is that we're actually able to put those vitals into next gen, and which we're going to demo today. And then soon we're going to be able to provide that kind of information to practitioners using Salesforce interfaces. So for this demo today, we are using a patient called Roberts. He's actually a actual patient in the test server, and then the practitioner from Malaysia. And we're going to show you 2 mobile apps. The Serona Bedside Assistant, which is the app which receives the voice alerts, and the family app. Going to what steps we've already done. So what we've done before to enable this demo is this. Number 1, we configured Transitions Next Gen server as part of our SLGS. What that means is we connected the 2 servers together. So there's a Next Gen test server and our server, we connected them together, say, hey, introduce them to each other. And then we imported all the patients from the server, imported into our server. Right? And then what we did is we assigned this call to Roberts. So now, whatever Robert does goes into next gen. So the medication he can get the medication from next gen, and those could be alerts, and all the vitals Roberts is going to collect are going to next gen. It can also go into Salesforce, and we're going to collect some vitals now.
Yes. So we're going to start the demo now, everyone.
I'm going to volunteer to collect blood pressure.
For our EMR system.
So on this screen is the next gen EMR on the big screen, and on the small TV screen is the Serona TV app and process like it would be in someone's phone.
So just a little bit introduction to layout. So a little bit like Apple TV layout. each of them is what we call an app, and we can configure. We can, as transitions, we can configure these apps. These are lots of apps. Not everybody will need all the apps. We can. So I have this transitions care app, and this app, and you navigate it using this remote control, which Rick showed. This is our remote control, which comes with the box. So, for example, this is. So if a nurse practitioner goes into somebody's home and they want to check the patient's vitals, they don't have to go into NextGen or something. They can actually go into what we call a hospital home kind of environment and actually look at the vitals. So this is actually picking up from NextGen. It's picking up from NextGen, so it saves time, right? Remember, NextGen is, from what I understand, a little bit painful because we got process to log in. And they can look at it in the graph right here, and so this way they don't have to leave remove their contact from the patient. They are still talking to the patient and actually able to see the vitals as well. Similar to medication, let's suppose they are working with the patient to provide the information of the medication. It's all available right there under the. So it actually picks it up from NextGen, which is has no medication prescribed at this point. And health videos, this is a very, very strong concept. Let's suppose you have a patient with a knee surgery or something, and you want to dissipate some good information. It's best to provide them through video. You can remotely control these videos based on patient's conditions. So remotely you can deploy the videos. So certainly you can do it on tablets and everything else. But this is the usual form in which people watch video, which is a TV. So you can bring all those TVs, exercises, and we have broken it down into different diet, exercise, training, information, all that kind of stuff. So you can come up with that. Now what I'm going to do is actually collect the blood pressure.
So I would be the patient in the home, and then the family member or caregiver would be Sanjay. And my blood pressure is probably really high.
So what happened is that when Richard turned it on, our box detected a device turned on. So patient didn't have to do anything, just have to turn on the device, just the way they do the regular device and connect it automatically, and it's collecting the data automatically. So there's nothing much to be on the patient side except to say okay. The reason we did add okay is that we want to make sure that patient doesn't want to retake. So we'll actually give the retake option as well.
Don't worry, I have a cardiologist appointment tomorrow. I should to you. So it came up on the screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we give it about 8 to 10 seconds, and then.
We have to say okay. So this okay means now when you okay, it goes to the server, it goes to
Blood
next.
pressure sent to server.
Send to server. It's not lying.
Vitals collection.
One month's blood pressure 139/92 stated August 20th was high.
So we took it about 2 hours ago, it was high, and then I'm going to pull it up on the screen right now. So 152/99.
So it pulled. So the whole demo is that it pulled the blood pressure into the EMR, and the box is the EMR. That's this pop-up is the EMR. So you're saying, well, this is great. What we can do is that any of the modalities that he has, blood pressure, weight, we can do other ones, pulse oximetry, we can do that. It pulls into the EMR. We'll set the parameters in the EMR. If the parameter is out of whack, you get instant notification to the physician through a API process that we've developed internally to push that data to you. So instead of having to monitor anything that automatically happens out of whack, you'll get notified on it. The care coordinator, the team, everybody would get notified on it.
Yeah, I want you guys to think about this for a minute, okay? You know, everybody these days, pretty much everybody has smart TV, but if not, like, we can obviously provide a monitor for anybody that has it. And I envision this being with all of our patients, primary, palliative, and hospice patients. I feel like the connectivity and the ability for us to do our 20 minutes of case management with our patients through this in a much more personable way is going to really give us that type of relationship that we need with the patient and the family. So we can basically load anything we want on this. So I was just telling Trish, I saw a demo of a company that signs up athletes and other stars for them to be able to, people who want to have a message sent to like their son for a baseball player, like they'll send them a personal video message. And I said, well, I mean, it was a terrible presentation and I hated every minute of it, but I was like, I could do that better. So I feel like, we could, if people have people that they admire for our patients, that we could go out and send emails out and have them tap right into their television and give them live messages. So that's one thing we can do. We can do some of our own programming. We can do memory programming, the games on there. We can do memory games for dementia patients. My mom did that for a long time after her stroke. So there's really just any app, anything that we can think of, any way to keep our patients engaged in what we're doing, we have the ability to do that. So this is the only TV-based telehealth platform that we know of.
What's the cost of it?
So, what's the cost of it?
Yeah.
He doesn't look like much, but he's very expensive.
So as Jim said, you can actually do a video call like on the TV. So I don't know, bros. Who goes?
What's up, Sanjay?
Yes, I did that. All right.
Can I ask a serious question?
Yes.
So, are you concerned about with all this pinging and data overload? I mean, are you going to, somebody got a little bit excited about their little blood pressure machine and they got their blood pressure 150 over 100. What does it mean? Somebody going to get pinged on that. What are they going to do with it?
Well,
you're going to get pinged. Are they going to get pinged on lit? If you have any abnormality, somebody's going to get pinged. Somebody will have to go through it.
100%.
And are you concerned about overloading your providers?
Well, we're going to have, so within our call center, we'll have 24/7 APNs there at command centers that take all these alerts, okay? So they're immediately going to pop up and address the concern. So if it's a blood pressure issue like that, maybe like I said, take another blood pressure pill and we'll recheck you in an hour, or we're sending somebody out to you now. So every single one of those alerts is going to get addressed. Sometimes it's just, you got to retake your blood pressure, something's screwed up, right? And sometimes it's like there's an issue. So the whole point is for us to be able to actually discern what's going on with our primary and palliative patients. Very similar to what we do in hospice, it's just advanced. And every one of them is responded to. So it's really, it makes us, listen, we're already great. I mean, come on, we go out every time a patient calls us, okay? You take this and you add this in there, it just gives us so much more bandwidth, so many more patients that we can do, and it's all centralized. So, and that doesn't matter if it's a palliative patient or a hospice patient or a primary patient. Once it's in the system, it's in the system. Everybody has the ability to take that information and use it. So as we move people through the continuum, it's all seamless.
I have a question, are these alerts customizable? So,
I was gonna touch on that.
so
In
individual.
Salesforce, it will be parameters for each patient.
And then the other question is, so this is great platform, I'm in the bathroom and I just had a fall, I can't get up.
If you scream, it'll pop up.
So life alert is, what we have there now, so, we want to prevent hospitalizations. Does this have the capability to sort of, interact with that, so I push my button, I fall, I can't get up, and it goes alert.
So we're building actually button which will, just like a button which will connect to a box remotely, and it can cover pretty much a 3-bedroom home.
So the answer is yes, we have monitors.
So,
Yes, that they can wear. They can wear-
This is for when you are in the front of the TV, but there's actually a
A
variable.
pendant.
Pendant.
yeah, so it's got a huge.
Yeah,
potential.
but honestly, like, as long as the TV can hear you, like, it'll pop on. Like, you can yell for help, and it'll pop on. So.
And I just wanted to make a comment. I think it's going to add to, keeping a continuity with the care, because as we're approaching value-based medicine, we have to be showing the data and how we're changing the data, especially in regards to PHQ-2, blood pressure, and hemoglobin A1C. So it's going to be more real-time and more accurate, actually.
The other thing is that in NextGen, I push them to build templates that basically take all the MIPS data and build it into the assessment. So yeah, I apologize, docs, that maybe take you 4 more minutes to do, one of our assessments compared to another assessment, because maybe it asks you a few more questions. But, like I started, everything that we do needs to be purposeful, right? All right, so every provider in America is like, oh, we need the MIPS, or we're going to get, dinged. So you got to pick 2 MIPS, and then we got to send those in. We have to report those. And if you really looked at MIPS, like, it's really important data. And it's so short-sighted to just look at 2 things and pick randomly 2 things, or pick the 2 easiest things. I want them all in the assessment. That data is going to be gold to us in like 2 years, okay? All that MIPS data, that's more than anybody will have on their patients, okay? That's what we're trying to do here. So I apologize for the longer assessment, but hopefully you guys understand what that means to us in the long run. We should be able to really start breaking down our care models and our care paths for each and every diagnosis, and be looking at data that no one else is really seeing. Individualized, specific data that should help us build a better, stronger care plan.
Do you want to do another one?
Yeah, I want to do a little bit of more demo. I think easy contact from patient to the caregiver. So I just wanted to do a demo. TV doesn't have to be on for that. So you can actually do voice command, like I need help kind of stuff, or you can just take this button, it's a panic button, and you just.
Your nurse has been alerted of your situation.
So this SBA app which I showed you, it shows an alert, which is, so all I have to do is.
See, is that you, Sanjay? That looks like you. Is that you on there?
What?
Are you mute? I think that was Sanjay. Before his haircut. Which one? There's stuff there.
On the serious note, here we get an alert, and actually if somebody has fallen down, I think the question is they may not be able to pick up the call. So we have actually a voice call which automatically picks up. So I just wanted to demo that just to show. So you can actually do a voice call, and it will pick up automatically on the TV, right? Robert, are you all right? Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Loud and clear.
So another reason for a patient to contact you rather than call 911. So those are actually small, like few. The product is very big. I just showed you a few small things. You can actually do medication reminder. You can remind patients to collect vitals and all that kind of stuff. Anything else? Please.
So it's all going to be breaking down there. We want to have it. So, I mean, what do you guys think of this? Okay. This is pretty revolutionary.